Hi, my name is Haley Steele, and this is my presentation over my digital unit. I am using Google Classrooms to host the entire unit plan, and my students would know that whether it be in virtual or be in-house within the classroom, that they need to join my class, and they would use this code right here. When teaching virtually, I would use Google Meets. However, being that this Google Classroom was only set up just for this unit, I do not have the access to that. But if I had students that were within my classroom, then I would be able to share a Google Meets link, and then they would use that to meet with me every day during the week so that we can go over what they've done the previous day and plus what they will be working on. When creating this digital unit, I planned it so that it can be done either way. It can be a completely virtual unit, especially with the pandemic still happening. We do have students that quarantine for a full week, so this would benefit them, being that they would be home. However, it can also, all of it can be used while in the classroom as well. So to get started, my students would click on classwork, and then that's where they would see the unit Judy Moody Saves the World. This is all based over the anchor text that we will be reading through the Monday. On Monday, they will read the anchor text, and then it will be referred back to Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday they would test over everything that they learned. And as you can see, I have each day labeled Monday, Tuesday. Within our classroom, we do connect Wednesday and Thursday, and that's just something that I've learned out of habit with the school that I am placed within, and it seems to work out because Wednesday and Thursday is a more busy day, and that way we give them the opportunity to have 2 days to complete everything rather than just one. And then Friday is known as their Show Me What You Know Day, which is when they take their standard-based assessment. So to get started on our Monday, the students would click on Monday, and then they would have their instructions. I have it easily labeled or clearly labeled where you can see step 1, 2, and 3, as well as at the bottom, day 1, step 1, instructional video would go with step 1. And then I also have that the standards and objectives are located within each day as well. And then still day 1, number 3, they're able to complete the Google slide that would be assigned. So going over number 1, they would watch their instructional video listed below, and then they can review the standards and objectives. I feel like it's important to place standards and objectives within each day. That way the students have access as well as their parents. Number 2, once they've done number 1, they would move on to number 2, and they would use, our students use the Clever app on their Chromebooks, which look very similar to this. I am using my mentor teachers because I do not have access to one, being that I am not employed within the school system. However, this is what it would look like, and they are able to use the other apps within their Clever app. So to go to Think Central, they would click on their Clever just like this, and then they would go to Think Central. Once they're in Think Central, they're able to see their assignments that are assigned to them, and this is where I would assign them to listen to the story Judy Moody Saves the World. And when they do that, it will show them the story, and they will simply click through until they read the entire story like the instructions say. And then they will quickly move on to number 3, where they will need to complete the graphic organizer, and being that it is in Google Classroom, it automatically saves everything, and then they go back to the view assignment, and then that's where they click the turn in button on the right, and then I will get a notification that they've turned it in. So that is everything for Monday that they would complete. Tuesday, the same thing. They have steps clearly listed of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a little bit more, but on each day, again, I have the instructional video listed. Day 2, number 1, being step number 1, they watch the instructional video where I go over all of the steps that are needed to be done for that day. And I also have the standards and objectives, again, so that they are able to just look over their learning intentions and success criteria. They can understand what is being asked of them to learn and how they'll know that they're successful, and mastering the standard. It is also a good thing for the parents to know, just so that they understand I'm not giving the students busy work. It is actually a standard that they're going to need to know, because this being a 3rd grade class, it is a milestone grade, so that this will ultimately prepare them to be able to move on to 4th grade. So once they watch the instructional video and go over the standards, they'll have an iReady reading interactive tutorial, which is right here. They will click on that and it will pull up like this. They simply hit go and then they start from there. They'll read a story, and they'll have to interact within that story to complete the story. It'll ask them questions during it just to make sure that they're comprehending what's going on in the story, etc. Then they will move on to number 3, complete the ready reading grammar. This is when I start introducing the grammar, where we're going over adjectives. The students will have their ready reading books as well as their reader notebooks. The parents will be instructed at the beginning of the year, if this were a virtual setting, to pick up their books so that they can have hard copies, but if not, then they will also have access through Clever, once again, with the iReady or the Think Central. So ready reading will be done on iReady, and when they pull it up, they will go to this page. It will be assigned to them, and then they will complete the 2 pages that is listed within the instructions. Number 4 is a reader's notebook. Again, they go to Clever, they go to Think Central, assignments, and then that's where they would find their assignment. And it would be pages 4 and 10. So when they go on there, it would look similar to this. And then they would complete the 2 pages that are assigned to them. And then I have a fun flippity activity. I've made it super easy for them to be able to go to it. In the instructional video, it is explained to them how to do it. Also directions here. They just simply click the link, and when the spinner pops up, it will give them their who, what, when, and where to create their own story. As for Wednesday and Thursday, they'll watch the video, review the standards again. Then they will watch a vocabulary video, just going over adjectives one more time before moving on to the reader's notebooks, pages 2, 3, and 9, which is all over adjectives. Once they complete that, they'll go to their ready reading books, whether that be the physical copies in the classroom, physical copy at home, or the online version of it. They would do pages 94 through 97, which will look like this, 94 through 97. And like stated before, in the instructional video, this is where I explain detailed what is needed to be done on each page and help them understand it a little bit more on their level. And then the last thing that they'll do as far as work goes is play a Kahoot review game. When they select it, it will look like this, and it'll give them a game pin, and then they'll be able to play the Kahoot review game. I know that my students in person in the classroom absolutely love Kahoot, and it is a great way to review the day before taking a test. So giving them the opportunity, even being virtual, I think is a great thing, because it will prepare them for what comes on Friday. As for my students for Friday, they'll watch the video below, and then they'll log into Think Central, assignments, and then they'll click on their standard-based assessment, and they will take it. That is not for just virtual. The students in our classroom also take their assessments online, and they do the exact same thing. So that is my digital unit for Judy Moody Saves the World, where they are going over describing characters and their traits and motivations, as well as having to learn adjectives and what they are and how to identify them in a sentence.